Hi, we're Gwen and Jim Williams. We decided we wanted our dream kitchen. This is our dream kitchen, and we love it. Jim's 73, and today is my 81st birthday, and we're giving up being tortured and abused by GE and Lowe's to get them to give us a stove that will work. The reason I'm making this is because several people says sue them. Well, it'll cost more to sue them than it will to buy a new stove. So today we're giving up and we're getting a new Jenn-Air stove this afternoon on my birthday, and I can cook Christmas dinner and it not be burned on the top and raw on the bottom. I want to tell you about the stove that has tortured us for 4 years. We had the extended warranty. We've had between 12 and 16 repairmen out here. Most of the repairmen just come out to call ahead of time, tell me to turn up the stove to 400, and they come out, they open the oven, they run the probe around, says it's 400, the stove is fine. But there were a few that listened to me. A few, but most of them said, two managers stood right here and told me that I wasn't used to these new stoves and they get hot. Well, the first problem is that the stove got so hot that it actually melted this gasket across here, and if you touched it, it would burn you. And you had to have all the windows, even in the wintertime, open if this stove was on. And the repairman or the two managers that came out wouldn't stay long enough for it to really get hot. So finally, one very nice repairman said, oh my gosh, this is a fire hazard. So he ordered all these parts. He ordered this part, he ordered another sensor, and by the way, there's been at least 6 or 8 sensors, heat sensors put in this. And they only work for a very short time, and then they don't function. But anyway, we ordered all these parts, and then when the parts came in, I called Lowe's. Another repairman came out, and he said, oh, I can't move that stove out. I said, you'll have to hire somebody to move the stove out. And I argued with him, and don't argue with those repairmen. They think you're a stupid old lady and you don't know what you're talking about. So, and of course I do though. I'm dumb enough to try to make them understand. But still, we hired PSE&G. And my favorite repairman in the whole world is Dean, who he came out and he moved the stove out and said, oh my gosh, it is a fire hazard. And he said, I don't have time. He corrected that, said, I don't have time to put all the parts in today. Said, but I'll send 2 guys back. And said, I may be one of them, said, but I'll send 2 guys back to fix the stove. So 2 guys from PSE&G came back, put all the parts in, and of course moved the stove out, the things that Lowe's wouldn't do, and we bought it from Lowe's. So they put all the parts in, and it didn't get hot anymore. But the oven wouldn't work. Even though the bottom element is on, it burns on the top and is raw on the bottom. The first Thanksgiving was terrible. Thank God I didn't stuff the turkey. It was burned on the top and bloody on the bottom. And that's the way it has been for 4 years. I have not, this last Thanksgiving I took everything and went to a friend's house and cooked it and then brought it back. But today we're getting a new GE because we're giving up being tortured by Lowe's and, no, not a new GE, oh no, 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 no. A new Jenn-Air that has the same features, because I love this stove, I just wish it would work. But I'll never ever buy anything from Lowe's again, or even speak to a GE person. But I'm getting a new Jenn-Air stove. And like I said, we're giving up